So, a question I get asked all the time, and it's a popular topic of debate, is should everyone do ayahuasca? And the short answer is no, right? And in fact, I'll give you three reasons at a minimum of why not everybody should do ayahuasca. But with that being said, I do think that everybody would benefit from some sort of energetic or spiritual work, right? I've talked about this many times that we live and operate on three different planes of consciousness: the physical, the mental, and the spiritual. And so, if you want to be better, if you want to grow, if you want to evolve, if you want to reach more of your potential, then you need to be strong and healthy physically, mentally, and spiritually, which means that you should be doing work in all three domains. So that idea leads into the first reason why not everyone should do ayahuasca, which is that there are many paths to the top of the mountain. So there are a lot of different modalities on how to work in the energetic world. And each path has its own pros and cons, and some people resonate to one path over the other. The second reason is that, quite frankly, most people are not ready, right? I think about the Matrix quote that goes something like, I'm famous for butchering quotes because, well, one, I'm driving, so I can't read it or even look it up, but it's something along the lines of most people are not ready to be unplugged because they're so ingrained into the system that any attempt to be removed from the system is viewed as a threat. And I've found that, especially when it comes to energetic work. Energetic work tends to open people up and removes the veil. It's literally pulling people out of the matrix. But as the movie suggests, and something that is extremely true, is that most people are not ready to be unplugged, nor do they really want to be unplugged. See, it's one of my favorite aspects about the movie, The Matrix, is that when they unplug from the matrix, the real world is dark, dingy, and for all intents and purposes, it's a kind of a hellscape. And that's a great analogy because the truth isn't always beautiful, right? Sometimes the truth is dark and scary. And because of that, some people would rather live their life in ignorance, right? It's why Cypher in the movie decides to go back in. He decides that he doesn't want the truth. He doesn't want reality. He would rather live a fabricated existence. And that's the truth when it comes to ayahuasca is most people are not ready to face their fears and their shadow, and they don't want the veil removed from their eyes. And the third reason is because it takes a very specific person to do ayahuasca. A Shipibo style ceremony is very effective, but it's very hard, right? If you watch my video about cleaning versus healing, you have to get in there and you have to clean out these negative energies. And it's hard, and you have to step into the unknown, and you have to face your fears, and you have to be willing to become uncomfortable, and you may throw up and you may use the restroom. But here's the thing, it's extremely effective. I've never met anyone who has regretted it. In fact, it's always an amazing experience. You have to earn every bit of that experience, but it is 100% worth it. But like I said, you have to be a warrior. You have to be willing to step up. It's not fun. It's not rainbows and puppy dogs. We're not sitting around singing Kumbaya and holding hands. We're getting into the darkness and we're battling demons. Anyway, to kind of wrap this up, ayahuasca, or any plant medicine for that matter, is not for everybody. I do think people could benefit highly from it, and it is a very effective tool for helping you reach your highest potential, but there are other paths to the top of the mountain. So if you feel called to do it, I suggest that you listen to that calling. But if you don't feel called, no worries, right? But make sure you're still doing work. Make sure you are doing what you need to do so that you can become better. All right? Anyway, stay strong, my friends. See you on the other side.